You might be ignoring the signs of disrespect because you are hoping for change. Remember, true love does not come with conditions. It should elevate you, not diminish your worth. Sometimes we turn a blind eye to disrespect, believing that love will conquer all. However, love should never ask you to tolerate what diminishes your spirit. The angels want you to know that overlooking disrespect can lead to deeper emotional wounds. Your self-worth should never be compromised for someone else's convenience. When you consistently overlook disrespect, you send a message that you accept being treated poorly. It's time to honor yourself and demand the respect you deserve. The angels remind you that your boundaries are sacred. Don't allow anyone to step over them without consequence. Your peace of mind is worth protecting. Disrespect can sometimes be subtle, disguised as a joke or a playful tease. The angels urge you to listen to your intuition. If it feels wrong, it probably is. You may think that ignoring the disrespect is a sign of strength, but it can weaken your spirit. The angels encourage you to confront the situation with courage and grace. Sometimes love makes us blind to the truth. The angels want you to open your eyes to the reality of your situation and recognize that you deserve better. When someone disrespects you, it reflects their character, not yours. The angels want you to embrace your worth and walk away from negativity and toxicity. Overlooking disrespect is a common mistake, but the angels want you to understand that your happiness is not dependent on someone else's approval. Your spirit is far too precious to be neglected. The angels remind you that you deserve to be treated with kindness, love, and respect every single day. Sometimes we tolerate disrespect because we fear losing the person we care about. The angels encourage you to prioritize yourself. Your self-respect is non-negotiable. Disrespect often masquerades as love when it is, in reality, a boundary violation. The angels urge you to stand firm and advocate for your own dignity. Your love is a gift, and it should be reciprocated. The angels remind you that true partners uplift and cherish one another, rather than taking each other for granted. Ignoring disrespect might seem easier in the moment, but it can lead to deeper resentment. The angels encourage open communication. Express how you feel and set clear boundaries. You have the power to define what respect looks like in your life. The angels want you to be assertive and unwavering in demanding the treatment you deserve. Recognize that overlooking disrespect is a form of self-betrayal. The angels urge you to choose yourself first and acknowledge your worthiness of love and respect. When someone shows you disrespect, it's a reflection of their insecurities, not yours. The angels remind you to rise above and not let their actions dictate your self-esteem. Your emotional well-being should never be compromised for someone else's comfort. The angels encourage you to stand your ground and seek relationships that nourish your soul. The angels want you to remember that you are deserving of genuine love. Disrespect is not love. It is a barrier to the beautiful connections you seek. Overlooking disrespect can lead to toxic patterns in relationships. The angels advise you to break the cycle and create healthy boundaries that foster mutual respect. When you accept disrespect, you send a signal to others that it's acceptable to treat you that way. The angels encourage you to change that narrative and demand respect. The angels remind you that no one has the right to diminish your worth. Your value is inherent, and you should never allow anyone to make you feel less than amazing. Ignoring disrespect can lead to emotional exhaustion. The angels want you to recharge by surrounding yourself with those who uplift and appreciate you. Disrespect is often a sign of deeper issues within the other person. The angels urge you to show compassion while maintaining your boundaries for self-preservation. You are worthy of love that inspires, not one that demeans. The angels encourage you to seek relationships that empower you rather than pull you down. Remember that you have the right to be heard and valued in any relationship. The angels remind you that your voice matters, and it should always be respected. You may be overlooking the signs because you want to believe the best in someone. The angels want you to trust your instincts. Sometimes the truth is hard but necessary. Your heart deserves to be treated with tenderness, not contempt. The angels encourage you to seek out connections that honor your feelings and your spirit. When someone disrespects you repeatedly, it's time to assess the relationship. The angels remind you that you have the power to choose who deserves a place in your life. Overlooking disrespect can sometimes be a defense mechanism to protect your heart. The angels encourage you to be brave and confront the situation with honesty. Your happiness should never be sacrificed for the sake of someone else's comfort. The angels want you to prioritize your well-being and surround yourself with positivity. Sometimes we overlook disrespect because we fear change. The angels encourage you to embrace change as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. The angels want you to understand that you teach others how to treat you. By standing firm in your boundaries, you set the standard for respect in your relationships. Disrespect can create a shadow over love, clouding your judgment. The angels remind you to shine a light on those shadows and clear away negativity from your life. You may overlook disrespect because of past experiences, but the angels encourage you to let go of those patterns and open yourself to healthier connections. Your worth is not determined by someone else's treatment of you. The angels urge you to embrace your unique light and recognize the value you bring to the world. When you choose to overlook disrespect, you are dimming your own light. The angels remind you that your brilliance deserves to shine brightly and be appreciated. It's important to acknowledge your feelings when disrespected. The angels encourage you to validate your emotions and seek healing through self-reflection. Sometimes disrespect can be a cry for help from the other person. The angels want you to approach the situation with empathy while ensuring your boundaries are respected. Overlooking disrespect can lead to a cycle of disappointment. The angels encourage you to break free from that cycle and choose relationships that fulfill your soul. Your heart is deserving of kindness and love, not harsh words and dismissive actions. The angels remind you to seek out those who celebrate your spirit. The angels want you to recognize that overlooking disrespect often leads to heartbreak. It's crucial to learn from past experiences in order to protect your heart in the future. Your voice is powerful. Use it to advocate for yourself. The angels remind you that you have the right to express your feelings and demand the respect you deserve. Overlooking disrespect can create a rift in relationships that may be hard to mend. The angels urge you to address issues head-on to foster healthy connections. You have the right to expect love that nourishes your spirit. The angels want you to surround yourself with positivity and dismiss anything that brings you down. When someone disrespects you, remember that it says more about them than it does about you. The angels encourage you to rise above and focus on your own worth. The angels want you to remember that you are not responsible for someone else's behavior. It's essential to prioritize your peace and well-being above all else. Sometimes we overlook disrespect because we want to maintain harmony. The angels remind you that true harmony comes from mutual respect, not avoidance of conflict. You are not alone in this journey. The angels are here to guide you towards self-love and respect. Trust that you deserve the best in every relationship. Ignoring disrespect may seem like a way to keep the peace, but the angels encourage you to understand that true peace comes from honest communication and respect. The angels remind you that you hold the power to change the dynamics of your relationships. Don't be afraid to set boundaries and demand the respect you deserve. Overlooking disrespect can lead to a toxic cycle that drains your energy. The angels urge you to protect your spirit by surrounding yourself with love and positivity. You deserve to be cherished and celebrated for who you are. The angels want you to seek connections that uplift you and honor your unique journey. Disrespect can manifest in many forms, from subtle jabs to blatant disregard. The angels encourage you to recognize and address these behaviors before they escalate. When you ignore disrespect, you may be sacrificing your own happiness. The angels want you to prioritize your joy and seek out relationships that enhance your life. The angels urge you to reflect on your boundaries and ensure they are respected. Your well-being is paramount, and it's essential to protect your emotional space. Sometimes we overlook disrespect because we fear being alone. The angels remind you that solitude can be a powerful tool for self-discovery and growth. You are worthy of love that elevates your spirit, not one that brings you down. The angels encourage you to embrace the beauty of your soul and seek out healthy relationships.